You're on YouTube.
Okay. Oh, all right. So you might be watching us on YouTube. And George, what did we decide that you search on? Because you said it was misspelled.
Huh?
Remember, we were trying to look up
Oh.
a search for YouTube,
Yeah,
and instead of,
it's conservative salsa.
or you could also look up Sonia Salsa, but we discovered it was misspelled, and it was spelled Somia. Anyhow, you can share this on your Facebook page, or you can send it to other people, whatever you'd like to do. We have a really good show. We're going to start in about, 13 minutes. We might start a little early in about 10 minutes. And I've got a new fancy microphone. George, do you think this is working? This microphone?
It is.
Yeah, that's for the
Woohoo! How exciting.
Facebook.
Because, even though I have a big mouth, I have a very soft voice. So they always have trouble picking up my
They
voice.
said they couldn't hear her, so now we fixed that problem.
Can you hear me now? Can you hear me now? Yeah? I think you can. Good deal. We have a really good show this evening. I hope that you tune in. We have announcements galore, as we always do. We're going to have my good friend Terry Dem ex Mega. So that's going to be awesome because we're going to talk about the Cinco de Mayo stuff. I wasn't here, man. I had to be in New Mexico.
It was so much fun.
But I saw
Lot of good-
singing
yeah.
and all kinds of stuff
Yeah.
going on. How
It was pretty
exciting.
awesome.
And then we're also going to talk to Josh, too, because Josh has taken the challenge. He's going to run against Congressman Ruben Gallego. Woo,
I
doggy.
look forward to it.
Man.
He's
Ruben.
already intimidated on Twitter, coming after him.
Oh,
Yeah,
really?
he's a little nervous.
He's
It's
a little
it's funny
nervous.
because if I'm Michael Jordan, right, kind of like he's in
Yeah,
Congress,
yeah.
right? He's and as a rookie coming in, I'm not really concerned with the rookie. I wouldn't even comment on him. I'd be more concerned with Larry Bird or Magic Johnson, right?
And he was on there commenting.
Oh, he had to comment, didn't he?
Is
But
that right?
The night he had his campaign startup.
he didn't really say,
or-
"Well, he's trying to be
like
he's trying to be a
kickoff.
smart ass," and and
Have
really
you met
didn't
him?
pan out. No,
Now,
no.
How
He might have seen it. I might have just looked over it. I don't know.
you might just, might just looked over him. Funny, starting up already. But we're going to talk a lot more about that with Josh when we actually start the show. I don't want to do too much, but since you're watching on YouTube, you kind of get a little heads up. For those of you, if this is your first time you've ever watched the Chips and Salsa show, what we are doing here for the last few years, George used to be a Democrat. I used to be a Democrat also. But we are here to bust the myth. We're Latinos and we're Republicans. And Terry's doing like a double whammy because she is it chairwoman or president?
Chairwoman.
Chairwoman of Republicans now. Republican National Hispanic Assembly. See, I remember now.
I remembered it because of the
Yeah,
I know.
I actually remembered the acronym now. Yeah.
Yeah, I was sitting there in the meeting and thinking, yeah, I got it, because I always forget it. Yeah.
Took me a while.
So yes, and she's doing a double whammy. And let me tell you, when I came to that meeting, I was really surprised. What the cool thing was, I've been doing politics for a while. George and I have been. And George, most of those people that were at that meeting, we didn't know, which is a good thing
It is
because
a
it
good
is
thing.
fresh faces. There's a lot of fresh faces out there that are coming, huh?
Wasn't that cool? That girl that's never been involved in politics, Daphne. I
Yeah,
know. We get a lot of those.
That's good.
It's only our third meeting too, so
it was
exciting, exciting stuff.
I have a story to tell too, since we have a few minutes, a little time to kill. So I went to my Republican Women's meeting last night, and we've changed our name. We used to be Central Republican Women of Phoenix, and now we are Greater Republican. I want to get this right. Greater Phoenix Republican Women. See, I screwed that up too. Greater Phoenix Republican Women. So there's a gal there, and she's probably in her 30s, and she only became a Republican last year. And she saw my button. I was wearing my button last night. And she said, Alice, I need a button like that. And she told me that she was everything on the Republican platform except for the pro-life. But you know what she did recently? She saw Unplanned.
Yep.
She saw that
I
movie
saw it too.
Unplanned, and she said, I cried and I cried.
I think
and now
everybody
she's
did
fine."
in there.
Yeah.
I think everybody did in there. When I saw it, and I'm pretty kind of tough when it comes to, like, mentally tough when it comes to certain things, and of course Bella and my son, Bentley, they went to watch Dumbo, so I went to watch Unplanned because I wanted to see it, And it was pretty busy in there, and I sat down, and I was kind of nervous, to be honest with you. And I don't get nervous either, you know, so I was kind of like, man, I don't know what to expect. I don't know. And so I knew what the story's about. Started watching. It's sad. It's sad. If you don't shed a tear in there a little bit, there's something wrong with you, to be honest with you, because it's real, you know, it's real. People don't understand what abortion really is, and I think that's a big problem. I could talk all day about this topic alone because they don't understand what it truly is. And I posted on my Facebook. I'm waiting for them to ban me, but I posted I forget what doctor it was, an abortion doctor in front of Congress.
Oh, yeah.
Gosh, no.
You know, talks for like he gets his 5 minutes. I forget his name.
Oh, the one that's pro-life now.
Yes, correct.
The
yeah.
one that was in the movie actually was an abortion doctor.
Yeah,
that's doing the
I
abortion.
saw that
Yeah.
little thing on this, the side thing on him. But you know, and I tell people, watch that doctor. You know, listen to him explain what it is. He's got the tools there and everything. You know, and watch. You know, and I always ask, have you seen an abortion performed? And they're like, no. And I go, well, I have a video for you if you want to see it, because I think everybody should see it.
If you're willing to be okay with it, especially, you know.
Yeah,
I mean,
because if you see that and you watch that, and even watching a plant, and you come tell me now, let me ask you, do you think that's okay? There's no one in the right mind that can say that's okay. I'm sorry. If there is, there's something wrong with you. You need to go get help, because there's no way you can watch that and comprehend what it is and tell me that's okay.
well, you know, I'm glad you said
We
that
treat
too.
dogs
because
better than that.
I was.
Yeah, and the left
They put
would
Michael
have
Vick in
a
jail for 2
fit.
years.
Yeah, they
That's
would
right.
have a fit if we didn't try to resuscitate a dead,
It's a-
semi-dead dog in the street.
Oh
Uh-huh.
yeah.
But with babies, you can do that. And you know,
Uh-huh.
I've always been like pro-choice for people, and I was pro-choice, and I did have an abortion when
Yeah.
I was young. It was a date rape situation.
Yeah.
And I got to watch the movie Unplanned at CPAC and meet Abby and the producers. And
Yeah.
let me tell you, it
Wow.
was a healing moment.
Yeah.
Healing moment, because you know there is forgiveness, and if
Yeah.
they would have shown me the ultrasound,
Yeah.
I wouldn't have gone.
It
through
would have
the
been
abortion.
different
You know
story,
what though? I don't.
And
I
they
wanna,
don't show it to you. When I saw my baby at 7 weeks yet,
Mhm.
the heartbeat was weird. He was fully formed. His
Yeah.
little button
Uh-huh.
nose and his fingers and his heart. If I would have seen that, even though it was a date rape situation,
Yes.
I would have kept the baby.
You know what though? What I loved about the movie, and like how I think too, and I don't, you know, just speaking for myself, but I love how they didn't condemn people that have done
Yes.
Yeah.
it, and I don't either. You know, I don't condemn people that have done it. I think a lot of people they're like a lot of situations. They're unless a rape situation or, you know, there are circumstances where I can be like, yeah, so I understand completely, incest or whatever, you know, but I love the fact that they didn't condemn these people because they're misinformed, because you don't know what it is, and when you know, like Ohio, for example, I know they were talking about before a mother gets an abortion, they have to do a 4D ultrasound as well as hear the heartbeat before they go through with it. And if you see that, I don't know, like you said, I don't know how you can make that you know, say yes, I'm going to go through with it. You
I
know, it
would
makes it
love-
harder for them, and
Yeah.
and I think that would really change if people really knew what it was.
I
It's
think
kind of
you're
like
right.
I'm a gym guy. I've always been a gym rat, and you know, it's kind of like the guys who don't train their legs. You know, oh, you don't see them, I cover them up. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They don't care. But if you had to look at them every day, you better believe they'd be working them.
Right.
They'd be
you know,
working 'em out.
you know. So that's kind of the joke I make about it. But it's kind of like, you know, if you don't understand what it really is, you know,
Plus, where like I could relate to the movie completely, because when she went to college, it was the same situation. I left my neighborhood, went to college, and went right into the Women's Resource Center and became a feminist, and it's just a clump of cells.
This is
and-
California
Yeah.
too. It's California too.
So it was a clump of cells, according to, you know, women are bodies. We took that. They don't tell you that there's a fully formed baby inside you.
I would love to do a survey of every woman that's had an abortion and ask them that question. Did you actually know? Did you have an idea? And I'm willing to bet the vast majority, as you are saying, really didn't have a concept and really, like you say, just thought of it as not really fully
the
developed.
thing is too, though, when I was 20, my views have changed. You
Yeah.
know, like a lot of people, I'm sure. You know, you get more conservative as you get older, you get wiser.
Yeah.
And you know,
Hopefully, yeah.
some of us do. When I was 20, I pretty much probably would. Oh yeah, whatever. I'll see you Saturday. See you Saturday night. We'll go out. You know what I mean? I
Yeah.
wouldn't even, you know, because I didn't understand what it was, and I think that's why we need to teach what it actually is, maybe at a younger age, because one, it's maybe scare them off from being irresponsible. You know what I mean? Make
Yeah.
them a little more responsible with what they're doing. If they knew about it, let's say if you knew about this, if you saw these videos at 15, 16 years old in your sex ed class, that might change your views on how you look at it, you know, for your future. See, I never saw this stuff until I was older.
And
So
why
I think
don't we?
differently
Because when, like, you know, I'm older than you guys, but the biology stuff, we had mostly a lot of diagrams. We didn't have all the cool, fancy stuff.
No.
And now
Yeah.
they can. They can
Yeah.
show you fantastic 3D videos
Yeah.
of
No,
what's in
they'd
the
rather
room.
talk to you
they
about
won't do
anal
it.
sex and
Yeah, like a Cave Creek.
homosexual-
Those details are
Unbelievable.
okay. All right, we're
Unbelievable.
getting close to
I know.
showtime,
Like-
George.
But technology does change.
It
Does
does.
change. That's why the heartbeat bill makes sense, because we
Right.
can show the technology to show, hey, this is the development. We didn't know this 20, 30 years ago. You know.
Exactly.
Now we know.
Exactly.
So-
Yeah. Okay, we're gonna start YouTube. We're gonna start doing Facebook. So ready? Okay, now we're live on Facebook. Thank you, Facebook chipsters. I'm Alice Lara here with.
Don Jorge.
And first of all, we need to apologize because we weren't here last week. That's my fault because I was in New Mexico. If you were on the Chips and Salsa site, though, you saw that I was up in Albuquerque with my nephew, David Beasley, who does our music, which I still got to get the music, David, I'm sorry. And he was being honored for the 40 under 40 for Albuquerque Business Journal. So, but we're back here, and we'll be back here every Thursday evening at 7 p.m. doing the Chips and Salsa show. Are we okay on Facebook? These guys are.
I don't-
That's
check
what
I
it's
us
like.
out.
I can't. It's not pulling up for me.
Oh, George, it's not coming on? Is it on? Is it working? Is there a video on that,
No.
on the phone?
Nope, you're not on.
Okay, well, let me go over there and see what I can do.
Well, it says live.
It
So-
says
yeah.
live.
It says live. Somebody even commented.
Joe Nebham is watching.
I wonder why
Extreme
that's not
static,
pulling
no
up.
voices is what Rick says.
No voices.
Could be the
Take
Wi-Fi.
Hey, Rick,
unplug.
can you hear me now?
No voices.
I'm gonna like that and see what he says.
If it's no voices, it's something like unplug that thing from the
What do you
phone.
want me to do? Unplug this?
We'll have to experiment a little bit more with that mic.
Okay. Alright, cool, try that.
Alright.
Okay.
Do you have it on Facebook?
It's showing like it's moving and grooving. And
Right
they
there.
are because Joe Nebhan is watching and Rick Windorf said extreme static no
Huh.
voices.
You didn't put it on your page.
Well, I don't have my phone.
It's straight off of Chips and Salsa, right? The live page, so
So you
it
don't
should pull
find
up. Yeah, not yet.
Come on, what's happening? What's Facebook doing to us then?
Okay, we got 5 people watching. Fixed. Okay. Rick says it's fixed. The
Oh,
sound's
that's
fixed.
weird.
So how come you guys can't get it? That's weird. Okay, thank you, Rick Windorf. By the way, you know what? My buddy Rick Windorf, who's watching, he's got a birthday coming up. And no, I'm not going to say how old you are. He's 21 plus, okay? Very good. So we're going to start the show. Thank you for bearing with us. And I do want to, let's go ahead and do some birthdays because I had my cousin Marie Maxine Gonzalez Moore, got all those things in there. She had a birthday yesterday. George de la Fuente's birthday is coming up. Nancy Cottle's birthday tomorrow is coming up. Kathy Pierce, our good friends from Arizona Hometown Heroes. And you know who else, George? Christina Keamy.
Who?
Christina Keamy.
Christina Keamy?
Yeah, do you remember who that is?
Mm-mm.
Our old sponsor from Rositas. Christina is
Oh, okay, yeah.
Charlie's sister. Yeah. Best waitress in the world. And who else? And my friend from like the 7th grade, Cindy Anderson. Hi, Cindy. And anybody else? All right. Anybody else have a birthday to announce? Nope. Nope.
No.
Good.
None
Alright.
here.
I always like to do that. So felicidades to you. Happy birthday to you. I also
Oh,
have a.
you're live.
Is it live now?
Yeah.
Okay. Yay! We're working now. Okay.
I'm not live.
I don't
She
want to
got it live,
forget
huh? Let me
to
see.
announce, because this is really cool. On Saturday, June 1st, we're going to have a coffee talk. That's with the Greater Phoenix Republican Women. We invite all Republicans. It's going to be at 10 a.m. to 11:30 a.m. You going to come, George?
Where?
It's going to be at my office, actually, at Copper State.
And where?
You should come.
Yes.
When?
It's going to be June 1st at
June
10 a.m. So you should come.
Yeah.
It's only $15. If you're a member, it's $10. You should come. Tell your friends about it because James T. Harris is going to be there.
Yes.
And James T. is an awesome afternoon host, and he's on KFYI, my old radio station that I used to work at. So I'll be posting this and all this good stuff, but again, that's June 1st. Coffee talk.
Coffee
Be
talk.
there. Be there. Okay, that's any other announcements, George, before we get started with our show?
If you ever go buy a car, brand new, make sure the title is on the back that the lien holder has released the title. If you paid the car in cash, I had an experience where it was paid in cash, but the credit union stamped their stamp where it said lien holder. So now I have to wait till they give me
Oh,
another letter that I could take to the MVD so that they see that there is no lien holder, because we paid 100% on the car, and they just made the mistake of stamping where it says lien holder. So now they're rectifying, but it'll take a few days. Then I gotta go back to MVD and show them the paper, and then they'll give me a title issued from Arizona. This shows that I'm the owner of the car, because there's no lien holder, because we paid in cash. So.
Oh, bummer, dude.
I know. I was ready to go ballistic at that place.
Well, good luck with that. That's a good tip, you know.
It says the volume's really low. Very
The
low.
volume's very low.
Yeah.
Maybe if I do this. Can you guys hear like the rest of them? Because I've got the lowest voice. So I'm going to use this mic. But this isn't for Facebook, huh? I wonder if my phone's low on the volume.
Could be.
Okay. All right. We'll keep working on it. Thank you very much. And you can always watch us on YouTube as well.
Well, we're further back.
Oh, that's true, George. Maybe bring in, can you? Oh, to get everybody in there? All right. I also wanted to announce that we are going to have Fox Nation Fan Summit's going to be here.
Yeah,
Yes.
that's gonna be fun.
On
David
Tuesday.
Webb, I'm a big David
Are
Webb
you
fan.
going?
Diamond and Silk and David Webb, I'm there.
Yeah.
I'm there. That's gonna be fun.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Got
I
your
already got
ticket
signed
already?
up. Yeah, I'm already signed
Yeah.
up.
All right, George, I'm the only one who hasn't got it because I want to
Didn't I
join
text
Fox
you?
Nation. Well, no, see, I've got to join Fox Nation because if you are a member, you get a special deal. Plus, you can pitch a show and take pictures with them.
Yeah, I saw that.
Are you a Fox Nation member?
Yeah, you had your volume
I
all
don't
the way
know.
down.
Okay.
I didn't know you had.
I'm not. It's only like
No.
I mean,
it's
no, you
very
don't-
inexpensive.
You don't have to, but they have a
Yeah.
special like 99 cents for a first month or something.
Yeah.
But I want to join because then you can go and get pictures with them and everything. You can do it anyway because you're the superstar.
Oh, whatever.
Woo! So
I
if
already
you,
have pictures with all of them, anyways.
yeah, see,
CPAC.
oh,
CPAC.
yeah,
CPAC,
pictures
yes.
with everyone. Yes, okay.
CPAC. I'm a little
Miss Rockstar.
fan club girl.
This is the
Fan
Republican
girl.
rock star. So, how about let's talk to Terry real quick
Sure.
first, and then we'll talk to you about your campaign. Cool.
Yeah, sounds good.
Okay, so we have a great show. We're going to start off, and we're going to talk to Terry
And I'm
Mendoza.
gonna talk this way so it doesn't look like I'm not talking to you.
Okay, cool. And she goes by Terry Dem X Maga. She's been on before. We love her very much.
I love you guys.
Yes, and she is the chairwoman of the Republican National Hispanic Assembly. So before we get to talking about all your Cinco de Mayo success that you had this weekend, tell the folks out there about RNHA.
Well, RNHA is the oldest Republican Hispanic organization established in 1967, and it's back and it's on fire. They just had Washington, D.C. They were in Washington, D.C. last week with Bienvenidos, meeting with congressional leaders and had a lot of press. So it's great to be part of an organization that is out there influencing, not just on the local, but also on the national level,
Yeah.
with Bienvenidos, Lexit, and RNHA kind of joining forces. So It's a great way to let people know that we are conservative and we do exist, and that's the main goal of for us here in Arizona. Our first year is just to get us out there and hopefully try to register. We've made a goal of everyone registering 5 new Republicans and adopting them and getting them to the polls come election day.
That is a great plan. Is that, do they have one in every state?
No. I think it's 8, the national, there were 18, including Puerto Rico. And then now we're Arizona 19, and I think there's a couple more. So not every state. Would be wonderful if we get every state. So if you're watching in another state, contact me, DM me. I'll get you in touch with the regional director.
That'd be great, because that needs to happen. We've got some time crunches right now. Next year's our big election year, so this is the time to get planning and get this going. And I'm so encouraged. I've been to 2 meetings now, I guess. 3? And we've had 3, but I think I've only been to 2.
Yeah, 2.
I've had to miss one.
Yeah.
But the people that come, as I was saying before in the YouTube deal, is I don't know most of these people, and I like that, because that means there are people that are coming in new. They've never been involved in politics, like you say, and that's what you want, because we've been around a long time, George and I, and that's fine. And you've been doing this for a while now too.
Just 3 years.
But still, you have experience. A lot of people are just they're fresh, and that's great. That's good. We need to be involved with our country. So thank you very much for doing that, because it takes so much time and effort. And if you do join, and there's something that's really a good talent for you, tell Terry, just like I tell in our clubs or whatever, and she'll put you to work. Or if you are doing something that you like to do, you'll have fun. You'll enjoy it. So I want to hear about what happened this last week in Cinco de Mayo. I couldn't be here, but I saw a lot of stuff on Facebook.
Well, yeah, it's Cinco de Mayo. The Phoenix Festival is the second largest Cinco de Mayo festival in the nation.
Wow.
And thanks to the AZGOP, we were able to get a booth, and it was right in the front. And we had jobs and prison reform and education signs and, little RNHA and American flags and balloons. We were the only ones with balloons, so Republican, Hispanic National Assembly balloons everywhere. We were giving out Mexican candy, and we had such great response. I was really surprised, because like the guy next to me with his booth, he's like, "Are you a little nervous that you're gonna get harassed?" Because unfortunately, that's what we have to expect, and this is a Hispanic themed festival. But we had so many people. I counted 27 that signed up. We registered 6 people, including one father that switched right there and then from Democrat to Republican.
Wow, how did it happen?
Amazing.
Did you make that? How'd you make that happen?
I did not make it happen. His son and I posted the video. The 18-year-old son pretty much red-pilled the mom, said, "Mom, you're voting for Democrats, but your values don't align." And she told me the story that, then he took me online and I did a test, and he was right. All my values do align with the Republicans. So she switched, and the dad decided this was a good, he said, "You know what, I've been putting this off for too long. How do I switch my registration?" I'm like, "Leslie, how do you do that?" She goes, "Just happens." I was like so excited, I didn't know what to do. Thank goodness that the executive director was there, because she's also a deputy registrar, so she made sure everything was done right, and it was pretty cool. And the most common comment that we got was, "Wow, it's so good to see conservative Hispanics here. You all are brave, but we need to see this more. We're so glad you're here." We only had one little homie get all crazy, but that was,
if you just had one incident with all, that's pretty good. What did they do? Can you tell us? Is it exciting?
He first of all, he looks like he's got about 20 felonies. I'm not profiling, but I can guarantee you he can't even vote. He's got pants that are wide, but they're short, with the shoes and the socks. Are you visualizing this? And tattoos.
That's what you wear in the morning. No?
And he probably goes by, El Matón or something.
El
I don't know.
Oh my
So
goodness.
he comes up the first time and he's like, "What are you doing? You don't belong here. Get your asses out of here." And I didn't say anything. I'm like, "We belong here." And he kind of, didn't get a reaction. So he comes back later and gets really aggressive with a phone, because he wants to be a YouTube whatever, and
I'm gonna film you, man.
he's like, "Fine, F you and get your, you
Wow.
did." And all I said to him, and everyone can tell you, the only thing I said to him was, "Well, I love you. Well, I hate you. I love you. I love you." And when you respond in love, they have no idea what to do with it. So that was my only
for you.
reaction to him as I stood my ground and I told him I loved him.
Is he a
And,
young whippersnapper?
No, he was about 40.
Oh, really?
And I didn't get my phone because, in case he got aggressive, I was ready to take my hoops off. Cause I'm from the hood. I don't care if I go down. I'm going to go down fighting, okay? But no, he was just there like most leftists, to get attention. And
Did he actually try to do any arguments or spar with you or have
No.
a conversation?
No. Their only argument, the first time he came around, he was like, F Donald Trump. And then I was like, okay, so I get it. You heard a rap song. Tell me more. That's literally what I told him. And, no, there is no argument from them at all. Absolutely not. It's just brainwashed viciousness and hate that comes from them.
Wow.
Thanks to the mainstream media.
They hate tax cuts. You must hate tax cuts.
You must see Dex
You know?
Yeah, I'm like, okay.
Well, you had a great success out
Probably
there.
doesn't work though.
Yeah. Do you have another event planned?
Not that I can think of right now. We actually have a few things that are coming up that are kind of exciting. We're looking to do an event on the west side and invite everyone to come, and hopefully we'll have a great speaker, and the topic will be immigration. And we want to just invite the neighbors and trying to get together some back to school events and, get some backpacks and donations down in Tucson and up here in Phoenix somewhere, and just give back, because Republicans give back. They just nobody knows.
We don't brag about it. We
No,
just
I
do
get it.
We
I
just
get
do
it. The right hand doesn't know what the left. But it's time that people know how much we give back, and and it's okay to show our good side. The facts show that Republicans give more to donations and charities, and so those three things are in the planning,
works.
in the
Mhm.
works.
That's awesome. That's great. Well, I tell you what, your next meeting for that is?
Is Tuesday after Memorial Day.
Oh, okay. Good deal.
Yeah.
And they're always here. They're at the
always here.
AZGOP headquarters.
Yeah. We don't know what we're going to do for social hour yet. Last meeting we had MAGA mariachi. That was fun, and some Colombian empanadas. So we'll see what we come up with next Memorial Day, post-Memorial Day meeting.
Now, Tatiana was out there singing too, wasn't she?
So let me tell you, Tatiana, all of a sudden she's out there talking to people. Next thing you know, we see her literally walking with a full mariachi.
Oh, that's what I was going to ask you. I
Let
thought
me
you
tell
were
you.
part of you guys.
No, full mariachi went towards us. And the best guerrilla marketing we could have ever asked for. A full mariachi. She's wearing the Republican Hispanic shirt right at the entrance. So there's literally thousands of people coming in and watching us and her. So, and
she was great. I
Yeah,
saw
she's
it.
awesome.
she is.
She's
Yeah,
going to
she-
come on the show soon.
Yeah.
Yeah, she was singing right in front of the mariachis, and boy, she just, I enjoyed it. I was watching it on video, and I go, damn, they stole it.
I know, but it was hilarious because all of a sudden you just see her like walking, and she's got all the mariachi coming.
She's got the band with her. Now,
I
I'm
love
sure
it.
that Telemundo was down there, Univision, and they all came and interviewed you, right?
No, they never do. We're invisible.
I mean, here's the deal, guys. Okay, so if you're watching, and maybe you're not on our side, maybe you're a Democrat or whatever, and that's good. If you are, you're an independent Democrat, I want you to watch. Please watch. Please interact with us. But that, to me, seems like if I were a reporter with Univision, Telemundo, I would love to come talk to you guys. And no one approached you.
No, I do Spanish media a lot.
And you speak Spanish.
I do. But they only call me when it has to do with immigration, wall, something Trump said, literally, to get a reaction. When I asked them if they were going to cover the bill, the Born Alive bill here in Arizona, they said, oh yeah, what's her name? Valeria's going to go. Of course they didn't show up. So they don't want to tell Hispanics, Spanish-speaking Hispanics, how awful and evil the Democrats are. So they leave those stories out. They just deal with Trump and how bad he is.
Wow.
So yeah, no.
You know, that's just too bad. It really is too bad. What an opportunity that they lost. But I just want to give you super kudos for getting out there, and that's what we got to do. Because people think, well, why do we do do the show? Because you know what, we're here. We don't want you to forget that, and you can be the best example if you're out there.
Just show up.
You know, because people still think they still got that image in their mind. Well, you're Latino, so you're most likely you're probably Democrat. You're Republican, really? And you know what? It's not that way anymore. There are more and more of us. There really are.
Can I just also say kudos to the chairman of the party? She was there, volunteered for a couple hours along with Leslie White, the executive director, and Dr. Callie Ward shows up with her honorary Latinas for Trump.
Oh, she wears a shirt? Oh, right on.
The Trump, she triggered a bunch of people. In fact, there she was sitting at the table, and one guy was like, "Why don't you guys have white people at the table?" And Kelly's like,
Oh, that's good.
So she passed for that day. But no, I mean, what party chair is gonna go on a Sunday in the heat and talk to people and help us with it? And they came, both of them came and said, "What do you need us to do?" So I just appreciate them so much. So thank you, Leslie and White and Dr. Callie Ward, because you all are actually showing the support and doing. Doing is a big part. So for them to take time out of their busy Sunday, and they loan us the tarp, the chairs, we ran out of air right away, and she brought some, and I mean, they're just, they were just being of service, and that's so
nice.
great to have a
And it's
party
nice,
chair.
and
that
it's
is that
nice
way.
that they let us even use the People's House here to do this Chips and Salsa show. I mean, that speaks volumes. She's the only chairman that has ever, Dr. Kelly Ward is the only chairman that has ever allowed us to come and use the GOP offices to do a recording of the Chips and Salsa
Yeah.
show. And we've been doing
We're
the
very
Chips
grateful for that.
and we're very, very,
And we're very
grateful.
comfortable.
And
here.
I'm humble. We're humble to even be in the People's House doing our show, because it's a privilege that they let us do it. And kudos to the chairman and the state director for all their support to allow Hispanic program like the Chips and Salsa air here in the People's House. It's great.
And we should give a little commercial that if you're out there and you live in the Phoenix area, the party can use your help.
Yeah.
If you can write a little check, great. If you can come here and volunteer and answer phones. Leslie White is the person we had. In fact, we had a coffee talk here. My women's club did, and we were talking to her. She's the one. She goes, why don't you guys do the show here? And so Leslie White, the executive director, she's been great to us. She's had been on our show before as well. But it's going to take all of us. Whatever you can do. Maybe it's becoming a precinct committeeman. Maybe, like I said, it's writing a little check here or there, or recruiting other people, or volunteering, coming in a couple of hours a week and answering the phones, or doing whatever little labors of love that you can do. It's amazing. Some people, I don't have a lot of money. That's why we do this show. But we do what we can. All righty.
Well, it's good to have somebody leading by example.
Yes.
So when Kelly Ward is here leading by example, that's what leaders do, and it's in every business, you should have that person, and I even put a thing on Twitter today about my son, he wants to work out, sees dad and wants to work out, and be an athlete, whatever, but I lead by example to him, about, hey, it's good to eat healthy, it's good to be in shape, it's going to help you with sports, it's going to, you know what I mean, and kind of lead by example. And I think more people need to maybe take that role on, and you'd be amazed at how many people follow along and pay attention.
I think you're so right,
They might not
Josh.
say, but they're paying, they're watching, you might get 30 likes, but you got 2,000 views, so people are watching. Just because they don't like it doesn't mean they're not paying attention. So.
No, I think you're so right, because you can say and post and do whatever, but if in your own life you're doing something, that's what matters. That's what matters,
And
what you're actually doing.
Dr. Kelly Ward has always been a hard worker. Like, I can't, between
Campaign.
her, Trump, I mean, up and down in one state, like one day up and down the state, and the pace that they're keeping up between her and Mike Shaw and Leslie White is inspirational. I wish I had the energy and the time they have. But you
And
know,
she
it
always
does.
looks great.
She does.
She always looks- she just got out of the shower and is ready to go.
I don't know how she does it every day. So thank you for being an inspiration for all of us. And if she's working this hard, what's our excuse? You know.
Right. Any last words before we touch on the other
No.
subject? And I want you to stay so we can still have more
No.
conversation.
I'm just glad to be here. I want to hear about
Yay.
Josh.
All right, we're gonna go to Josh next, but thank you very
Oh,
much.
last words, yes.
Oh, okay.
Campaign mode official.
Woohoo! Right on. Great.
I like this song.
That's nice.
As you carry it everywhere,
Where'd
you
you
put
get
it in
that?
your bra and you just be like,
I can see her at the grocery store, just, you know,
Use it as a
Everywhere I
sunshade in
go.
Arizona. Whatever you like.
somebody looks at you weird, you just pull it out.
yeah, Hillary 2016
Yeah,
car passes
there you
by
go.
you.
Where'd
Make
you
'em
get that?
cry.
I need one of those. I need one of
I have
those.
'em. I
Oh, you
'em
have
in
them?
my car, yeah.
All right. Good deal.
No, I'm actually selling these for $5.
Oh, you're selling them. Okay, good.
I
Man,
know.
shopping
Ordered
at
them.
Terry's
Yeah.
store, let me tell you. Okay, so now we're going to switch gears.
Terry store.
Yeah, but not really. We're still staying in the political realm and talking to another great, strong Republican. I was actually at the meeting at the Republican National Hispanic Assembly that we got to hear from and meet Josh Barnett. So welcome to the Chips and Salsa Show.
Well, thank you for having me.
Woohoo! And Josh is running against my congressman right now, who is a Democrat, Ruben Gallego. And so, of course, right off the bat, you know, I guess we should let you give us a little 1-minute bio and then tell us what the heck do you think you're doing running against this guy? Go.
Well, I've always considered myself a patriot, you know, and I always in my mind put I was always proud to be American. I was proud, and you know, over the years, I've seen that kind of dissipate. You know, I've seen that kind of go away. Like we lost our pride in a way, you know. And I know Trump talks about it all the time, but it's funny because even before Trump came along, I was saying it to my buddies or whatever, you know.
Are you military? Do you have
No, I'm
military?
not. No, I played college football right out the gate, and when I was done with that, I kind of got into I always worked out, you know. So I got into bodybuilding, and then I opened a gym, and then opened another gym back in Indiana, and then moved out here about 9 years ago, and then opened a gym out here. So.
And what brought you to Arizona?
My dad was out here at the time. My grandmother's here. I have family in Gilbert too. My aunt and uncle, cousins out there. So I had family out here, you know. So, and it allowed me to kind of get out of Indiana because I couldn't take that weather anymore. I couldn't take it, you know. And so when I came out here, I opened a gym here and grew it from 7,000 square feet to over 20,000 square feet now.
Wow.
And now I co-own one in Oceanside, California as well. So those taxes are killing us there. So,
bet.
but my business partner out there, Louis Uridell, he's great, and so it works out nice.
Good. So what inspired you? So evidently you live in Congressional District 7. And what inspired you to run against Ruben? Because Ruben is, just for those of you who may be from another state or don't know the history, but Ruben Gallego is, you know what, he's a sharp politician. He really is. And before him was Congressman Pastor, who has passed away. But he was entrenched there because it's a high Latino district. And it's like, man, we tried a couple times. Janet Contreras ran against him. And it's really hard to get someone out when they have so many Democrats in that district. So what inspired you to say, I'm going to do it?
You know, I'm very active on Facebook, and I'm very opinionated about what I believe, and whether it's politics or whatever it is. And people know that about me. I'm always honest. You know, I'll just say what I believe, not to be rude, but somebody asks me, I'm going to get an honest answer. And so I'm very active on Facebook, and I've had people. We started a little show that we did, my buddy Easton, and we just talk about politics. We talk about stuff, and we enjoy it, and I've always enjoyed it. I've always studied it since probably since I was 19 years old. You know, I've always studied this stuff and always kept up with everything.
And your show is?
And it's called Constitutionally Right, and we do it every Wednesday just for fun. You know, we've been doing it over a year, on Facebook. You know, I had somebody make a comment to me like, why don't you just run if you want to, whatever, And I was like, and I've mulled it for like 3 or 4 months prior to that, at that point. And then I saw how things were kind of happening in Phoenix, and I kind of looked more into the candidates, that I knew about, but really looked into them. And I noticed that, Ruben's never, his last couple of elections, he really hasn't been challenged by a
Nope.
Republican. I had a Green Party guy, I think, ran, whatever. And I don't think any Democrat should run unopposed. And vice versa, to be honest with you. And vice
I
versa.
like to have both
I don't
parties
think a
in too.
Republican should run unopposed. Because competition creates quality. It increases quality of whatever it is. And if he's running unopposed, that's all you're going to get. And that's what they've gotten the last couple times. So.
Have you met the congressman?
No, I haven't. Haven't met him. And I don't. And I think I was telling you before. Politics for me, I've always looked at how somebody does their job. Base my opinion on how they do their job, because I don't know him personally. I don't know Donald Trump personally. I don't know anybody personally. You know what I mean? Well, now I do, but some people. But I don't base my decision on them as a politician based on their personal life, what they've done, how many degrees they have. I don't care, because when you hear somebody speak and what they really believe in, and if they have a voting record, what their voting record is, and Gallego has a voting record that I don't approve of, and he has beliefs that I don't approve of, and I'm literally probably the opposite of him on 90% of the stuff out there. Probably the only thing we might agree on is climate stuff, climate-related things, because I think everybody can agree we need clean air and clean water or as best we can.
Oh no, Republicans, we want dirty water. We don't care about our kids.
Yeah, and that's what they say. But
don't.
And it's like, I think that's like a human thing. Everybody on Earth should want that. It's just, how do we get there? And somebody like Ruben or the Democrat Party and Hillary and all them that were coming through, let's get rid of coal. Well, they got rid of tens of thousands of jobs. Literally, whole towns are disappearing, and you can't get rid of something till you have something to replace it. And so that made no sense to me. And I've always just taken politics and applied common sense, because you can have these politicians that have all the law degrees from Harvard and Yale and all these Brown and Ivy League schools. They have no common sense. So I'm looking at this and I'm like, you guys, you can't replace the coal industry until you have something viable to replace it. And then you can transition those jobs over a period of time, transition those jobs so people can keep working and have jobs. And until that happens, you can't just cut people off like that. It's just simple things I see. I can go into every subject I could touch on about it.
I don't know if you want to use common sense in politics.
Well,
I don't know, man.
The thing is, I think that a lot of these Democrats know, they're smart. They know. They know. But anything that's going to pull power from them in any way, shape, or form, they're not going to do it. And there's something I won't even get into today, because I don't want to give a heads up to them until I get further into it. But there's a Republican idea that's going around economically around the country that I'm getting heavily involved in, just because I come from a business background, own a small business and everything. And Gallego, as far as I know, has never owned anything. So, the people that have opened and run small business understand the concept of, you have a budget to work in.
Yeah.
Right? You have a budget. You need to stay within your budget. You need to have some leeway money, for emergencies, things that happen. And apparently, the government doesn't understand this, and we need more people in office that are aware of that and can attack that, because that's a problem. It's a problem. And I think the people that are in office now that maybe have had small companies or large companies, that they understand that concept. And there's just enough people that don't, and it clearly shows in how our budget is and everything that goes on, and they lose billions of dollars, have no idea where it went. That kind of stuff just can't happen. It just can't happen.
Yeah,
anymore.
and it's we have to get a handle on that. You're absolutely right. So I'm excited about that, because I'm like you, year after year, and we have a lot of districts that way, and they just don't get challenged.
Yeah.
And I like to see another candidate in there, and so I know a lot of people are excited about you getting in there. So of course my question is, what do you think is going to be your best? I know you don't want to give away secrets, strategy, and everything like that, but you are up against a very a political animal. I'm going to call Ruben that. It's a compliment to him. I know he will take it as a compliment, because he is a very smart guy. I know him, and
He
they're
is?
they're
I saw him on Tucker.
very focused on the
That's how-
political scene. So, and this is new for you, politics. You haven't. This is the first time you run for office.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So, what kind of things do you think? I know you say you have the business tool, and I think that is very smart. The acumen that you have that he doesn't have. But what other areas do you think that you're going to be able to go after, and that he's been neglecting, and you're going to be stronger and be more of an appeal to voters out there, because you're going to have to appeal to a lot of Democrats or independents at least.
What I've, like I said, I base my opinions on people and how they do their jobs in politics and how they do it. And when I've asked people in the district, and as I'm sure you know this, I ask them, what has Ruben Gallego done for you? What has he done for your district? And crickets every time, or not a damn thing.
You haven't
an
gotten
answer
any
like
answers.
that. And I looked into it. And I researched it, and I don't see anything. He might co-sponsor some bills on climate or, that are national related things, not even directly related to Arizona, and I don't see what he's done. What has he done? Are you voting for him just because he's Hispanic? Because that district is 56% Hispanic. Are you voting because his last name's Gallego? Because name recognition is very important.
Do
in
they ever
politics.
give you an answer?
No, everybody says no, not literally, quote, not a damn thing, or they're just like, I don't know.
Well, no one runs against him, so they
Well,
have no.
They have no other choice.
And,
No
and,
other
and yeah, there's no
choice.
other options, and that's a problem, obviously,
Except for the green guy there.
And me being, like I said, from owning a gym for so long and being around, like, a lot of my friends are black, a lot of my friends are Hispanic, a lot of my friends are, I have a wide diversity. I have friends that are lawyers, doctors, you name it, name the gamut, own companies, large companies, multi-million-dollar companies, and I have a large range. I have ex-NFL players that are friends, you know what I mean? I'm around a lot of different kind of people. So I feel that when I go to a community that's largely Hispanic or largely black, it doesn't bother me, and then coming from a college football background, you have like 80 guys on my team that are black, so like it never bothered me. I don't look at people, what color they are, where they're from. I judge them. I truly judge them on their character and if I like them or not. And so if I go to a community in District 7 and I'm talking to somebody, like, I think they feel comfortable around me because I'm
You're
comfortable around them.
them.
Yeah, exactly. And I think that's a huge advantage for me when I get out there and start speaking with people and them getting to know me. I'm very kind of socially kind of libertarian, from a social standpoint. I was really happy to see the prison reform passed, and I think it's kind of funny that Trump's the one that passed it because he's racist.
Yeah.
And a lot of people don't know about that. So we were just educating somebody who is not a Republican, and they're
Yeah.
like, "Really?
Yeah.
Really? You did that?"
Exactly, and it's up to us to let people know about it, And I guarantee the people in District 7 aren't being told that by him. I guarantee,
And you can be a
Ruben's
good
not telling them.
spokesperson, mouthpiece for that as well while you're out there.
Yeah, that's one of my main platforms. Honestly, I've always been a huge advocate of it. I think for me, and everybody has a different opinion. And I talk with Jerry Sheridan, who he's going to win
running
that
for
sheriff.
sheriff,
He's
right?
going to win
He's
that
running
sheriff.
for county sheriff.
Yeah, he's going to win. And we have kind of a different opinion on it. But if we went down, I'm the type of person. If I sit down with you in a room, and you always see us in government, and even Ruben, whoever, it doesn't matter who's across from me. I'm reasonable enough that we can come to terms on something, a plan for something, whatever it is. But there's certain hard lines that I'm not going to cross, and I'm sure he has hard lines he's not going to cross. But there's a lot of give and take, and you come to a compromise. I mean, but the problem is these people aren't talking. They're not talking anymore. And I don't have a problem talking with anybody. I don't care who it is, And I don't put people up here on a platform, or I don't put them down here. I put them right with me, And I've always done that my whole life. So I think that's always benefited me with kind of relating to people.
So we still have some time to talk to you, but I would like you to give your website out, information if somebody wants to help you, because these races, man, they take a lot of money and effort.
Well, that's one thing too, and I tell people all the time. They're like, I don't have all the money. I go, listen, donate $5. It all adds up. It all adds up. And the thing is too is that 90% of House seats are won by the person who has the highest donations. which is kind of sad when you
It
think
is
about it,
sad.
because you should be voting for people, you know, on you know what their
Merits.
ability is, what their merit is, what they believe in, what their voting record has been if they have one. You know, so you shouldn't be that to me it shouldn't be a factor, but it is. You know, so let's be honest, it's a factor, and I'm telling people, hey, you know, come help me out, come help me defeat this liberal socialist, and do what's right for the country and vote for what's right for the country, because that's what drives me crazy more than anything. And I think a lot of people see it, the Democrats in particular, and there are some rhinos that do the same thing, like Senator Burr. I won't get into that tonight. And even people like Flake and stuff like that from here. That, man, I've had my words with the TV, you know, and then, you know, I won't get into the other person, but you know, this is the type of stuff that just needs to stop, you know. And the only way is, you know, introducing term limits. You know, people talk about that, you know, but the people got to understand that you need to vote these people out. You know, you have to vote them out. And I'm talking rhino Republicans that aren't doing anything. Get new Republicans in there. Get somebody in there that wants to go do something what's best for the country, and vote for what's best for the. You can't tell me Ruben Gallego doesn't know that there's a crisis on the border.
And has he said anything about
but the
that?
thing with Ruben, is that I've read up on.
Anti-war.
No, not now. It's a humanitarian crisis. So that's they got the memo that morning from Chuck and Nancy. So they all say it's a humanitarian crisis. But he denied that there was a crisis at the border, and that's just stupidity. I'm sorry. You know, how can you go to Harvard and be so smart and then not understand that simple concept of what's going on? Well, he understands. He fully understands. He's just going along with what the Democrat Party wants him to do. Whatever they tell him to do, that's what he's doing.
They are so focused on their talking points.
And that's
they
exactly
do
what's
succeed.
happening with him. He's being told, it's kind of like his mom and dad telling him what to do. And he's a grown man.
It's a great way to
And
put
he-
it. Your
he
mom and
can't-
dad.
Chuck and Nancy.
Chuck and Nancy
They
says mom
get
and dad.
they
I
all
joke
get
about
the
that.
Same, you notice
They
that?
all do. They
yeah.
all use
Just
the same
like
term.
today, Trump called it yesterday.
Yep.
It's going to be a constitutional crisis. And
Yep.
today,
Nadler and all them. All everybody's a
everywhere,
constitutional crisis.
constitutional
You know
crisis.
the irony about that, the constitutional crisis thing, is that Nadler knows. They all know exactly what's going on. They know that Barr cannot release those documents. They know
Right.
it's illegal for him to give them the grand jury
Yeah.
testimony. They know this, so it's just a dog and pony show. It's all it is. And like Mark Meadows said, and Jim Jordan, who I love those guys, and even goes out here
I love
fighting in
Jim
bigs,
Jordan.
like they're fighting. And I love the Freedom Caucus.
Yeah.
I do. I consider myself like an honorary member, even though they don't know
We
me.
hope that you can become. We hope you can be there. So you
Yeah,
can
I'm
be
like
a
an
part
honorary
of it.
member in a way, and even Dan Crenshaw, you know, like guys like that are, you know, Dan's he's not a politician. You know what I mean? He's a military guy that loved politics, and he's a smart guy, and he said, I'm going to go for it, you know, and I kind of, in a sense, kind of see myself as somebody like him in a way that I'm not a politician, and I'm going to speak my mind, but I'm going to speak, you know, with truth and facts. And I always joke, people laugh at me because on Facebook, I love facts, and I'll post. I like fact, you know, and I post. So they're always, it's like a running joke with me. But I never say anything without facts to back it up. I don't say things just to say things, like a lot of people do.
Yeah.
And if I say it, I mean it, you know. And there's too much lying going on. There's too much backstabbing going on. There's not enough unification. There's too many people voting just because they're a Democrat. You know what they're told. They're not doing what's right for the country. They know damn well they should vote for that border wall. Not because it's a border wall. It's part of a comprehensive reform. We all know it, but what do? They lie about, oh, the wall, it's immoral. It's not immoral. It's immoral not to have the wall, because you're supposed to protect America first and us first.
Well, that's the first
And
function
Arizona
of our
first.
government.
And where do you think these people come from? All the drugs and people are pouring up through Maricopa County. There's a few alleyways that are open in there. I was talking to Jerry Sheridan about it, because I didn't know about this. He told me Penzone got rid of the people that were supposed to be watching those certain areas. Got rid of them.
Wow. Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
So, you know,
We gotta get him
vote
on the show.
Jerry. Yeah, I'll tell him to come on here with you. Vote for him, because that needs fixed. I
Was
mean,
that the guy that was Sheriff Joe's?
yes, he worked
Okay,
with Sheriff
yeah,
Joe.
no.
Yes.
He's a sheriff
Yeah.
now. In fact, last night at our women's club, we had County Attorney Bill Montgomery, and so he was showing the map. And of course, we have a bunch of drugs come up through here, man.
Yeah.
The guys are here because we have all the connecting highways. And did you know? I'm sure you knew this. Like in New Mexico, the little border checks that they
Uh-huh.
have, those are closed down.
Yeah.
They've moved those
Well,
resources
the governor
around.
got rid of it. So that governor should be
You know, a headline in
voter
the
out.
paper.
You
A
know?
headline in the
It's
paper
ridiculous.
in
I
New
feel-
Mexico
but
State.
don't we? I feel so powerless. Like every day, reading that 100,000 more coming in, and you know,
I
and
know.
and you see 600 and 400.
Well, they're dumping them off.
They
They're
just
dumping them
keep
off
coming.
at churches
They're
in
taking
District
advantage
7.
of it,
They're
and
dumping
they're-
them off
yeah.
in the district that I'm running in. And now, thank goodness that this is funny too. It's a great thing. I talked about it last night with my buddy. The Ninth Circuit has always been traditionally,
Liberal.
they knock
Liberal,
everything down.
yeah.
You know what I mean?
Progressive. We
But
should
then
really
it
use
goes, then
progressive
it goes to
instead.
the Supreme Court, and like 85% of the time it gets reversed because they're terrible, and it gets reversed. But when Trump said, "Okay, you want these people? I'm gonna send them all to sanctuary city. You're gonna have. I'm gonna bus them to you. You can have all of them." All of a sudden, this last week, the
Right.
Ninth Circuit said, "Oh, you know what? We'll let the asylum seekers stay in
yeah.
Mexico now."
Yeah,
I
it's
thought
okay
that was
now.
I thought that was
Yeah.
great.
So
and-
telling.
yeah, and it's they don't want them. They know damn well what they're doing. It's whatever they can do to make Trump look bad.
But what?
But
what's
everybody's
happening
seeing right through it. They're seeing right
in
through it.
Your district, especially where they're getting dumped off, is it? Especially Hispanics and blacks need to realize that our school systems are the ones that get affected.
That's
Yeah.
right.
First,
That's right.
my kids went to high Hispanic. It was mixed population, and we're the ones that get affected first. I ended up taking
right.
them out of to a charter school.
Yeah.
Because they wanted to put them in an LEP tech class, a Spanish. They're bilingual.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I'm like, no,
Gotta
I
get
know
some
you
more
get
money.
exactly.
Yeah.
I worked
Yeah.
in the
Some money.
LEP
Yeah.
tech. I go, my kids are bilingual,
Yeah.
not monolingual.
Yeah.
But we're the ones that get affected the most, the education. So I hope
You're right.
you
You're right.
push
And
that
what's
issue.
what's a big thing in Arizona? Education. And more money for education, right? Well, you're letting people part of our country, and we need to. There's like 50 kids in a class. I don't know. There's one
resources,
teacher
right,
per
yeah.
however many. And we don't have the resources trying to pay teachers more, which I agree with. I don't mind paying teachers more, especially since they're not very well paid. Typically in Arizona, but I mean I'm all for that. And there's ways of creating income to do that, or creating revenue to do that. But I don't believe in raising taxes to do it. There's ways.
Well, whenever you pay your taxes, that's the bulk of your tax bill.
Goes for
Look
Yeah.
at,
Yeah, it does,
we were talking
yeah.
about this just last week because we had Lynn Weaver in here, and usually I carry mine around because the bulk of it, your property taxes, they all go to education.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And when they have to do these things, oh my goodness. So on this same topic, one of the things that I think we made a big mistake in a long time ago is we decided, okay, well, if you have your kids here and they're illegal, we still have to educate them. And I know that sounds very humane and humanitarian, but we know what that did.
Yeah.
It said, okay, then I'm coming over and I'm bringing my
course,
kids.
it's
And now
incentive.
it's even more pronounced because of the asylum thing.
It's incentive. We're giving them incentive to be here,
Yes.
and that needs to stop. And we've talked about that repeatedly. Dan Crenshaw, I went and saw him at ASU when he did the Turning Point thing. He touched on that, and it's true. It's 100% true. And that's why you see so many people coming now because they're like, I don't know if they're going to close the border, and they're like rushing the border, And now we have a little better handle on it, but it's still terrible. It's still terrible.
They're actually running ads in Central
Yeah.
and South
Yeah.
America,
Yes.
encouraging
They
them
are.
to come up. That they will get
They're
help.
busting them up.
And
They're
that's
doing
thanks
everything.
to the Democrats who are out there fighting for illegal
Yeah.
aliens
Over
when they should
Americans.
be fighting for
Well,
Americans.
it's not only Central South America. I mean, you got people from Haiti, you got people coming in from
Everywhere.
Cuba,
Yes.
and they have brand new Jordans on, cell phones.
iPhones.
Yeah, and then if you're so bad off, really, I mean, it's pretty obvious what's going on. They're trying to get
I
a free
check
ride.
out their tennis shoes. Have you been doing that?
I do it all the
check- I'm
time.
like,
People are like,
wow,
I can't
they're
afford that. And I look at the shoes and go, those are nice new
Yeah.
Nikes. And they're like, they kind of look at me like, oh, yeah, I
Yeah.
got a deal on them.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, the outlet must have been good for you.
Yeah.
But it's not only a strain on education, it's a strain on healthcare.
Yes.
It's on the healthcare system, an extreme strain. And I know this isn't maybe maybe a little more isolated throughout the country, but we have a lot of weird diseases, popping up around the country. And that has a lot to do with people coming across that are not checked. We don't know who they are. It's just common sense. It's truly just common sense that we should know who's coming into our country, why they're coming here, who's going in and out. It's just unbelievable to me that anybody can even argue against it.
what about the
Yeah.
people that are trying to do it the right way?
Yes.
And they've been paying and waiting and all this money and do that. And nope, somebody else just jumps ahead of them.
It's not right.
I would be so
It's not
angry.
right. It's like my girl Bella, her and her family. They come over here a legal route. People pay money. People do paperwork. They wait years to come over. I have a lot of other friends that have come over here legal, and I always joke. You never hear a legal immigrant that's here say they're okay with the illegals coming here.
No.
They're like probably the biggest.
They
Like,
are.
no, keep them out of here. I paid a lot of money and spent a lot of time to come over here.
Yes.
And people even been away from their families for like the dad came over, then their
had to
wife was back
wait,
home and they
yeah.
had to wait and they couldn't get over. I know somebody waited 6 years. They didn't see their dad for 6 years, but he was willing to do that to get them
Just to
here
be in
because
America.
to him it was important, and that's fine. I get it, but for people to just do what they're doing right now, it's not right. And you want to talk about immoral? That's immoral to me, And the thing is, they know they're again, it's a dog and pony show. They know they're wrong. All these I'll say now, all these Democrats have voted for the wall before, and $25 billion at a time, and 2 separate times prior to now. And now all of a sudden it's immoral. It's a joke. They're just doing it because of Trump. They're doing it in spite of him. He kicked their butt in the election, and they don't like it.
They don't
And
wanna
they'll
give him
never
victory.
accept it. And I love it. I do love it because it shows how pathetic they really are. Honestly, it shows. What are they running on?
Anything against Trump. I'm waiting for Trump to come out against oxygen.
He will. You know what's gonna be funny.
It'll be bad for us. It'll be
They're not
bad.
gonna breathe.
I've been on, like, me and my little clique of Republican friends have been on things for a long time, and it's now coming more public now, and I'm sure if I know about it, they know about it in DC, right? But in general, the public doesn't know a lot about it, because when I talk to people, they're like, really? But the D class is going to come, okay? When that D class comes, it's going to show a lot. When the IG report comes out in a few weeks, it's going to show a lot. When Huber's investigations wrap up and Barr's investigations wrap up, it's going to show a lot, and it's going to happen. It's going to happen, and a lot of corruption to drain the swamp. If you think about it, people are like, well, he hasn't drained the swamp. He has. Comey's. Look at all the FBI,
True.
the CIA, everybody. They're all gone. All the top people are gone. That's just a start.
And it's still a huge swamp.
That's just a start.
You just can't do that.
No, it takes time. It's been there
lot
for
of
a
time.
couple hundred years. You know what I mean? And it's going to take time. So, but with that being said, there's things that are going to be known that they can't deny. It's undeniable. And with the FISA, the big dossier.
Oh, there's so much.
It's undeniable
There's
what's
so
going to
much.
happen. And Jim Jordan, that's why I love the guy. Him and Mark Meadows and even Matt Gaetz and other guys are really pushing. And but I've been on that from day one. I've studied it deeply, and the Democrat Party, I truly believe, will not be the Democrat Party we know today by 2020. It's not going to be the same. It's going to be dismantled because of the corruption and probably some random Republicans mixed in. To be honest with you,
Oh yeah.
because they, I'm not letting them off the hook.
Good.
So they're just as accountable for a lot of things that have happened as the Democrats.
Well, you have a really big battle. I'm glad that you're in it. We got about 10 minutes left. I want to do a few national things. George says looks like he wants to ask you something first, though.
How are you going to connect with the residents in your district? Will they have open access to contact you, to ask you questions? Are you going to be the hands-on type of candidate that talks to your constituents?
Yeah, that's what I love. That's what I like the most about everything, to be honest with you. And Elijah, the guy to help me get everything set up with the campaign and the website and everything else, which is barnettforaz.com.
Really good website.
And he did a great job, and they put it together very quickly, and did a good job with it. And then with the Twitter page, Barnett for AZ, Instagram again, Barnett for AZ, and then
Good. Everything's the same.
on Facebook.
Did you
it's
get
Josh,
that? Barnett for
yeah.
AZ. Is
And
that FOR or the 4?
FOR.
FOR. Barnett for AZ.
And Facebook is Josh Barnett for Congress, just because it's a little easier to do that with that. But I'm fully accessible, and that's what I love is going out and talking to the people, because you're never going to truly understand what's going on in your district or whatever neighborhood if you're not there.
What part of the district do you live in? You don't have to tell
I'm
me
a,
exactly.
like my mother. I basically live at my work, so I'm there at 5:30 a.m. and I leave at 8. But I like it, I love it, and it's not a job to me, like I said, and one thing I've always talked about is I've gotten to something that I love to do, and I want other people to be able to experience that, and that's one of my things that I'm working on is, especially in the Hispanic community, they're very entrepreneurial, and I want to help kind of assist that along, and there's things that I'm going to be doing, you'll see, that are going to help assist that along in the Hispanic and Black communities, in certain areas, and maybe people are like, I don't know, but it's going to work well because there's federal funding behind it.
Launched your campaign in someone's business.
Yes, Chris.
Business owner.
Chris. His business. He's a member of my gym. Been a member of my gym for a long time. He's a conservative. We talk about politics, here and there, and he's on the same page, and he's aligned up, and that's actually where the mayor of Glendale eats there frequently.
Yeah.
Oh,
He's there all
cool.
the time. Yeah, and I met with
That
Jerry.
was cool that you had a local.
Yeah, so
So
I met with Jerry
business.
a few days after that, so I sat down with him. But
So I have a real important question to ask you. So, we're trying to make America great again. So if you get elected, will you try to make America fit again? Because that's your deal.
I'm all for it, But I really believe that's why I like fitness for the fact that I like seeing people. If somebody comes to me and they lose, let's say 50 pounds, 60 pounds, their whole world changes. It really does, because they're so much more, I guess, confident in themselves. You see things change. You see things change. One of my clients, Zira, she's lost quite a bit of weight, and then she lost like about 70 pounds, almost 70 pounds at one point. But she got a raise, and she's like, you know what? It's because I have a little more energy now. I get more things done. And it it kind of translates in everything you do.
Yeah.
And I have a guy comes to me and they put a little muscle on, they get a little leaner. They feel a little more confident in themselves. And they hold themselves a little differently. So I think there is a kind of a correlation how it affects your life and everyday life. But my main focus, of course, is America and America first, that type of agenda. But I want to put Arizona first. I want Arizona to be, we're number 4 in the country in GDP right now. I think at 4%, which is good. It's very good. But we need to be number 1. And I want District 7 to help Arizona be number 1. And there's a lot of stuff that's coming in that they're going to have the ability to do that.
Well, in our particular district too, especially where I live in the South Mountain area, there is so much growth going on there.
Yes, there is.
It really is.
My Bella's sister lives in Levine, so I'm there every Sunday, or darn near every Sunday. So I'm there a lot in that south side on Baseline and 51st Ave out that area.
What about schools, bringing fitness back into the schools? I don't see as much as when I was young. Man, we were working out every
Remember the
day.
president's
Yeah.
program? You had to do
Yeah,
so many.
remember Arnold? Arnold was with Reagan,
Arnold.
right? And so, I think it's been put on the back burner, and I don't understand why, because one of our biggest issues in this country financially is obesity, and fighting obesity and childhood obesity, which
Health
bothers me.
insurance.
Well, it bothers me the most because the kids don't understand, and they're just kind of doing what, it's kind of like a lead by example type of thing, and getting people to understand that, hey, fitness, you don't have to look like a cover model or anything, but like, hey, just be fit. You don't even have to lose weight. You can be healthy on the inside. You know what I mean? And be healthy on the inside. People forget your heart, your lungs, your kidneys, your liver. Eating healthy and working out. Even if you didn't lose weight, can still make your cholesterol go down. By eating a little healthier and stuff. So there's a lot of stuff people forget about that. Again, directly affects our healthcare.
Yeah.
It directly affects our
That's
healthcare. So that's why you see these companies, the corporate wellness programs that are usually poorly run, to be honest with you, but that directly affects their insurance. You stop one heart attack from happening, that's knocking off 30 grand or 50 grand off the minimum, off the budget for them in a way, So it's a direct effect with healthcare and stuff that goes on. Preventative medicine, I'm huge on. Let's prevent this stuff from happening and extend the people's quality of life. And then that'll make, again, America better in general, in that direction.
And Josh, I always get concerned because so many kids now, when I always feel like I'm back in my day. But, I mean, you knew there were like 2 fat kids in the whole school.
Yeah.
And they weren't really that big. They were like almost a normal kid
Yeah.
today. And
You
I
had to
thought,
run
wow.
the track, you had
Remember?
to exercise, you had to
Yeah,
Well,
gym
the thing
and
is,
I don't think
too,
we had enough. There's a different culture
when
and
you
lifestyle.
get kids involved in
Plus,
fitness,
we walk to and from school.
Exactly.
yeah, it's a lot different. Now they're on video games all day. So my
Yeah.
son's crazy and he's always
Yeah.
running everywhere. But he's like more like me when I was younger. Give me a ball, any
Yeah.
sport, and I'm good. For like a few hours. Even like that now, kind of. So, yeah. But when people are active and they're paying attention to their body a little bit more, at least physically, again, I told you how it helps you mentally as well, and I just want people to understand that the drug issue that we have going on, I know many guys that got into bodybuilding that got them off meth.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
You know, they used to be meth heads, and I saw a picture. I'm like, man, dude, really? Why would you want to look like that? What's wrong? You know, like, and he's like, that was me. I was addicted to meth. You know, but then when I got off, they got help. You know, and I got into like bodybuilding. It got my mind like, I don't want that. That's gonna make me look the opposite of what I want to physically look like. You know, and I've known fitness to literally save people's lives. You know, literally save people's lives. And you know, people sometimes in bodybuilding or bodybuilding related, they get like this negative connotation to it, but I've literally seen it save people's lives, you know, and I think sports, activities, you know, fitness related things get people going the right direction, maybe change their mind, their mindset when they're younger, going into college, into their 20s, that, you know, yeah, I don't need to do coke, I don't need to do meth, I don't need to try this stuff, pop pain pills, you know what I mean? And I think that's something that we need to look into, because again, it's preventative. You know, there's not enough preventative things happening when it comes to medicine, you know, medicinal things or activity or healthcare, because it drives healthcare costs down. And if healthcare can be affordable to a degree, because there's a program called Atlas MD. I don't know if you've ever heard of it. Atlas.md is online. I had one of the doctors that's with the program, Dr. Kirby Farnsworth. He's up in Glendale, on with us and talked about it, because I want to learn more about it. I heard on Hannity like a year ago. So one day I was bored and I kind of Googled it. Oh wow, there's a few people here. So he came on and explained what it was. $65 a month, unlimited visits.
Mm-hmm.
That's
You get your
great.
drugs at wholesale straight through him. He carries the top 400 or 500 drugs that people use, and you get your stuff straight through him. Pennies on a dollar, wholesale.
He's a pharmacist or just a
Doctor, he's an MD.
wow.
He's an MD, like your family doctor. And if you had a kid on under 15, it's $15.
Wow.
So,
That's a good deal. Now, are you gonna have time to work out with this big heavy schedule? that
hey,
you
I
have?
always make time to work out. My goal is to be maybe like the first guy in government with 20-inch arms or something like that. I don't know, you know. I'm the type of person. When I get my mind on something, like I go with it 100 full speed ahead, you know. And fitness will always be a part of my life, and you know, working out, because that's just me, you know. And I'll get up at 4 a.m. if I have to do it, you know. It doesn't matter. So, or after a 15-hour day, I'll still do something, you know. But I might have to open a gym in DC. Might have to, you know, open like a hardcore Metroflex gym in DC. Get all my Republican buddies together, and get everybody fit.
Oh, wouldn't that be great?
Yeah.
It could make a difference.
Yeah.
It really could.
Yeah. I'll invite Nadler even.
Invite Nadler. I was
Yeah.
gonna say.
Yeah,
Yeah.
there's a lot of
You
people
get-
that
you get-
need your help,
Yeah.
Josh.
You know, he gets lap band surgery, still can't lose weight. You know.
Oh, really? I didn't
Yeah.
know
He
that.
did, he did.
Wow. Ooh, you learn everything here on the Just the Salsa Show.
Well,
Okay.
you see people that do it. Charlie Weiss, remember the old football coach, right? Notre Dame. He had lap band surgery. He started gaining weight back, and you know, it's dangerous. That lap band surgery is dangerous. Charlie Weiss, I knew the anesthesiologist that did work for him, and he literally died under anesthesia, and they brought him back. So it's dangerous. So just don't get to that point.
That's
You know,
the thing.
go get help. Go talk to a local gym or trainer. You know.
Wow. Well, your website again is Josh.
Yes, it's Barnett
Excuse me.
Frazee, BarnettFrazee.com, at Barnett Frazee, FOR, and on Instagram and Twitter, and it's Josh Barnett for Congress on Facebook.
So if you live in the district, this is congressional district in Arizona, number 7.
Yes.
But you know what? If you don't live in the district, maybe you even live out of state, it's all right. You might want to help someone like Josh get to Congress, because he will represent, should he get elected, we hope he gets elected, he will represent this congressional district. But actually, you represent everyone in the nation.
Yeah,
All of our
exactly,
Congress guys
exactly.
and gals out there, they represent. So if you want to send them $10, you live in California, you live in, maybe you're watching us from Texas. We have a lot of people that are like from all over, and not just all my family in Georgia's. And you know, you can help him. You can send him some money, or
And if anybody wants to come meet with me and talk with me or ask me questions, let me know.
great.
I'm more than happy. And probably every Saturday or Sunday, from here on out, I'm setting up a kind of meet and greet, open Q&A. And I'm going to do one this Saturday, because it's Mother's Day. This Saturday at 2 p.m., just because I got my son's last T-ball game in the morning, and I coach. And then I have a children's mental health, what's it called? Children's mental health convention, I believe is what it is. Where my client Zero, she's into that field, and I'm going there with the kids and stuff.
And where's it going to be, Josh?
that is going to be. Let me look it up
Giving you
real
some
quick.
homework.
Yes, let me look
And
it
you know,
up.
while he's doing that, I'm glad you said that because we do want to wish everyone out there Happy Mother's Day. You're a mama,
Oh,
right?
Mom.
Happy Mama's
There
Day. We want to wish one to Dion. I'm not a mom. I just have a little. That's
National Children's Mental Health Awareness.
No
And
wonder you're always so happy.
and it's at 10 to 1 p.m. at Orangewood Elementary School, 7337 North 19th Ave. So I'm probably going to be there about 11:30 to 1, and then at 2 o'clock I'm going to be at Panera Bread on this is at Thomas and Central.
Okay, I know where that is.
It's
close
right
to
on the
my
corner
house.
there. So I'm going to go there. People can come, sit down, eat, have coffee, whatever they want to do, talk politics, ask me questions, whatever they want, and then that night,
And when will you be at Panera?
2 o'clock.
At 2. That's Saturday?
Yes, correct. Yeah.
All right, awesome.
So I'm probably gonna do Sunday mornings, something like a coffee kind of thing in the morning. But before we head to church, because I go to church at St. Francis Xavier, which is Central and Camelback, so it's just
Sure.
right up the street. So
And then, some Sunday you should come. I go to St. Mary's Basilica.
Okay, I've been
Go
there.
down
Yeah, I've been
too.
there. Yeah, I've
and
been
they
there.
have some coffees afterwards too.
okay, yeah,
Awesome.
yeah, I've been there definitely.
Great. Okay, before we finish, any last words from you or anything?
No last
When's the
words.
meeting and all that stuff? Next meeting?
Next meeting is the Tuesday after Memorial Day. I can't remember so the last Tuesday of every month. We meet here at the AZGOP. 5:30 to 6:30 is a social hour. 6:30 to 7:30 is the business meeting, and it's 6:30 to 7:30.
And she's great about that.
Cause I hate going to
She's
a
great.
meeting and they run over like we don't got lives.
And,
Get to
May
business.
28th.
And
is
the
when
thing
it
is, the social hour has been the talk of the town lately.
Not
You never
good
know.
all the
We
time,
had
but
we had a merengue dance
Salsa,
on
bachata.
one night. We had Tatiana was singing at our last meeting, and what was the third one? We've had very interesting social hours.
And the food is good too, man.
And the food
I'm gonna
is
bring
good.
no
some
one
salsa.
mentioned my enchiladas. Which
I
is
never
very
get to eat
upsetting.
them. They're gone by the time I get them.
I'm gonna bring some
Traditional
salsa for you. I'll have Bella
enchiladas.
make some salsa, like some
Nice,
good,
nice.
good
Okay.
stuff. I'll bring
Do you
some.
put cilantro in it?
I don't know what she puts in it, but it's
There's
really good.
Different kinds of. She's
Yeah.
from the north.
She's from Sonora. Yeah,
Probably does,
yeah,
yeah.
All right, good, because I'm not a big cilantro
Yeah.
lover.
I love
yeah.
cilantro.
I'll bring like some
You
chips
like
in
love
that.
it or hate it.
Excuse
Okay,
me.
awesome. All right, so help Josh, your organization. George, any other announcements or anything?
Hey, it's going to be a great Mother's Day. Happy Mother's Day
Happy
to
Happy
all
Mother's
the
Day to
mothers.
everyone.
The Chips and Salsa show wishes all the mothers out there and the soon-to-be mothers a happy Mother's Day. Sunday's gonna be a beautiful day. It's gonna be sunny,
We're having great weather here. Yeah.
Yeah, it's nice. Yeah.
and if it's not sunny, it'll be cool sunny, like sunny but overcast. So it's still nice. It's like it'll be in the 80s. If not, it'll be in the 90s. So it'll be great. Have a barbecue, enjoy your family, and be safe. Watch kids around the water. It's very, very tempting for the kids to go into the pools now. So it's your responsibility as parents, as homeowners, to watch your kids around water, and don't drink and drive. Don't drink and drive. It's very, very important. Your family loves you, so don't drink and drive.
Or smoke and drive,
And don't smoke. Yeah, don't smoke.
because
a
there's
little
an
funny.
issue in Colorado with that.
And,
Oh my
uh,
goodness.
With the
and don't
percentages
text and
going
drive now. You can't text and drive.
Yeah.
Or smoke and
don't
other stuff too.
Yes,
Don't text and
yes.
drive. Don't drink and drive. Don't smoke the funny weed and drive. And watch your kids around water.
So
And have
thank
a
you,
happy Mother's
Chipsters. Thank you so much for all your support. I want you to get your guac on this weekend for
Day.
Mother's Day.
Share
Share us,
share.
like us. Did we get to our 2,200 likes today?
Yeah, we're getting close.
Okay, we need to get like to 5,000. You know, we're
Yes.
competing with Terry. Terry has thousands and thousands, so we have to
I don't
compete
even
with
know
her.
what.
So, happy Mother's Day, guac on.
Walk on.
Yeah, I really like that. Those are really neat.
They're easy just to kind of pull out anywhere.
You know what we should do? We should take a picture. Can we do a selfie? And then you can have that with us all. Can you do
Or
that?
you hold it and I'll do something.
Yeah, because